(1914). A troop of cavalry out on reconnaissance, while the rest of the squadron are looking after their horses with that infinite care which, as the result of thousands of years of cavalry warfare, had become their proudest tradition. Only a few miles away lay this country, until recently well behind the enemy's lines. And it is this ground that our troop, who have dismounted behind cover, are reconnoitering. The troop leader uses his glasses with good effect. He has located a small outpost of the enemy and sends his dispatch rider off with the information. The first job of a reconnaissance patrol is to get information. The second is to pass that information back to headquarters, and the third is to push on with your reconnaissance. In 1914, the job was mainly done by cavalry, but communications were slow by present-day standards, and you had to send a rider back to the point from which visual contact could be made with headquarters before the second job, passing back the information, could be carried out. Time marches on, and today wireless has almost entirely replaced visual signaling on land, and reports can be sent back while the reconnoitering troop carries on with the third job, pushing forward. This set is in a Humber armoured car, the troop leader's vehicle of an armoured car troop out ahead of an expeditionary force which is advancing into enemy-occupied territory. A little scout car is out somewhere ahead of the troop. It's approaching a crossroads when the driver sees something moving in the hedge beyond the crossroads, and they pull up short. As the troop leader comes over the hill, he sees what has happened and fires smoke to obscure the enemy anti-tank gunner's view up the road. He then turns aside and takes up a hull-down position off the road. So you've already seen three new tools of the new reconnaissance: wireless, smoke dischargers, and a wheeled vehicle that can leave the road and go across country. The troop leader gives instructions to the rest of the troop, who have not yet come into view, by wireless. Now the road is completely concealed from the enemy by smoke. Under cover of this smoke, the second armoured car, there should be two more, but one was lost in action a couple of days previously, and the second scout car turn off the road to their right. They will take advantage of a slight rise in the ground to get well up on the enemy's flank. The rest of the troop, the motorcyclists, will get behind the cover of the church and its adjacent building. It's not long before the cars are creeping down the hedge under the cover of the rising ground. The troop leader, now that the smoke has cleared away, opens fire with his 15mm Beezer. The other two cars will soon be able to open fire also, and will be far enough round on the flank to be able to hit the gun crew round the side of their gun shield. The Humber will therefore use its medium Beezer, which might be unable to penetrate the shield of an anti-tank gun from the front. While these cars have been engaging the enemy, the motorcyclists have ridden out to the other flank and are now creeping up on the anti-tank gun position. A very light stops the fire from the armoured cars, and the motorcyclists follow up their hand grenades and go armed with their Tommy guns. Their job is to make certain that the armoured cars have really finished off the gun crew and to destroy the gun. A few minutes later, their very light signal tells the troop leader that all is over, and the troop can move forward again to continue their reconnaissance.
Driver, advance.
And as they push on, they maintain their constant communication with headquarters. Getting information, reporting it, and pushing on are no longer separate actions. They all take place simultaneously. So you see what sort of vehicle is required for this job. Sufficiently armed and armoured to be able to deal with light opposition, and with a mobility and cruising range which will enable it to cover a large area of any kind of country without the need for refueling or more than the simplest maintenance.